Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? This time, we're plugging into the Matrix. But hold on. We're not just here for the kung fu.
Right.
Though that bullet time action, always awesome. But today, we're going deeper. We're talking about belief.
Okay.
What we believe, why we believe it, and how this film, even after all these years, makes us question everything.
It's true.
And to help us unpack all of this, we've got Shannon Lejeski's work. She read this amazing analysis of the whole Matrix trilogy
I like her.
using, get this, something called Lacanian psychoanalysis.
Lacan, yeah, he's a big deal. But pretty complex.
I know, right? But
Got
don't
it.
worry, we'll break it down. No PhD required for this deep dive.
Promise.
Basically, Lejeski uses Lacan's ideas to explore how the Matrix plays with our minds.
How it messes with what we think is real, yeah,
Yeah.
and what we choose to believe.
Okay, so picture this. You're Neo, just living your life, totally clueless that everything you know is a lie. Then, bam, Morpheus hits you with the choice. Red pill or blue pill?
Whoa! Big decision right there.
Right, one pill shows you the truth, however brutal it might be.
The other lets you stay in that blissful ignorance.
Talk about a dilemma, but here's the thing. That whole red pill, blue pill image,
It's everywhere.
it's become this huge symbol way beyond the movie.
Like choosing to see the harsh reality or just, sticking with that comfy lie. It's crazy how this one film got into our heads,
Totally, and it's not just the pills themselves. Notice how Morpheus, when he's explaining this whole other reality to Neo, he uses all these metaphors. The rabbit hole, Wonderland, it's like,
He's drawing on things we all kind of understand, like this shared cultural knowledge, to try and explain something that's basically impossible to explain.
right, it's like when you're trying to describe a dream,
Exactly.
You have to use these metaphors, these analogies, just to even get close.
Which makes you wonder, right?
Totally. Like, how much of what we call reality is just our brains trying to make sense of all the chaos?
That's where Lacan's symbolic order comes in. It's this idea that we understand the world through these shared symbols, language, all these structures.
It's like a giant code we've all agreed to live by.
Exactly. But even with that code,
Yeah.
how much are we really seeing?
So even Morpheus, who's trying to, blow Neo's mind with the truth, he's still going to use these symbols, these metaphors.
It's the only way to make it make sense.
Which kind of begs the question, how much of what we call reality is just our brains trying to make sense of the chaos?
Whoa.
Right, and if reality is just a construct, what happens when that construct starts to crumble? Buckle up, because the Matrix is about to take us even deeper. Okay, so we've taken the red pill, gone down the rabbit hole, and things get really weird in the second film.
They really do.
Like, remember that scene where Neo meets the architect, the creator of the Matrix?
Oh, yeah.
And he just lays out this whole cold, calculated explanation for how the Matrix works.
Right?
Suddenly, free will is just an illusion.
That's a lot to take in. And the interesting about the architect, he's like that friend, I think we all have one, who's always analyzing every decision to death.
Oh, yeah, I know that type.
They're so busy calculating the optimal outcome that they miss out on just living.
Right. It's like the Matrix reminds us that sometimes you need to just take that leap of faith.
Absolutely. That sometimes it's more powerful than any spreadsheet. And the architect, he's all spreadsheet. He sees the Matrix as this closed system.
This perfectly balanced equation.
Yes, and humans.
yeah.
Just variables in that equation.
It's like he's
Perfect.
explaining the meaning of life with a whiteboard full of equations.
Exactly. And then the kicker, he sees Neo, the one, as just an anomaly, a glitch in the system.
So even the architects, with all his calculations, can't fully grasp the power of belief and choice.
Exactly. And this ties into Lacan's idea of the real. This is the stuff that exists outside of our neat little symbolic order.
The raw, unfiltered reality.
Yeah, exactly. The stuff our brains are constantly trying to make sense of, even if we can't fully grasp it.
It's like rigor elation. Like when you look at the night sky and you're trying to comprehend the vastness of space.
Yes.
It's awe-inspiring, but also kind of terrifying because it's just beyond our understanding.
Exactly. And the architect, in his own way, he's trying to contain the real, to impose order on it.
But the existence of choice, of free will, that disrupts that order.
Right. Which brings us back to belief, doesn't it? Because it's not just Neo's choices that matter. It's the faith that other people put in him.
Their belief in the prophecy of the One.
Yes. And that's where Lacan's imaginary comes in. It's this realm of ideals, beliefs, aspirations, even if they don't really have a basis in the real.
So like the American dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This powerful idea that's driven people for generations, even if it doesn't always look the same for everyone, or even if it always exists.
Right, that's the imaginary at work, shaping our desires, our actions, even if it's not always rooted in, concrete reality.
Right. Like when Morpheus goes head-to-head with the commander in Reloaded.
Oh, yeah.
The commander's all about pragmatism, military strategy.
And Morpheus is clinging to that belief in Neo, in the prophecy, even when it seems hopeless.
And he even says, my belief do not require them to believe.
Right, like he's saying, I believe it, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. That's the power of the imaginary. It can fuel our actions, even in the face of doubt. And ultimately, that belief, that faith, that's what drives Neo to make that ultimate sacrifice in Revolutions.
He chooses to believe in something bigger than himself. Bigger than the Matrix, even.
Right. Which, raises another fascinating question. Did Neo fulfill the prophecy because he was always the one? Or did everyone's belief in him? Did that actually shape the outcome?
It's like a chicken or the egg thing.
Totally. Yeah. Our beliefs, they have this weird way of becoming self-fulfilling prophecies, don't they?
It's true. If we believe something strongly enough, it can influence our actions, our choices, and maybe even the world around us. So we've gone down the rabbit hole of the Matrix, messed with our heads a bit, thanks to Lacan.
Just a bit.
Okay, maybe more than a bit. But where does that leave us, really?
With more questions than answers, probably.
Right. Like, are we living in a simulation? Do we really have free will? Or are we all just, I don't know, pawns in some cosmic game?
These are questions philosophers have been grappling with for centuries.
Centuries, way before the Matrix even.
Exactly. Long before Keanu was dodging bullets in slow-mo.
But that's what's so cool about the Matrix, though. It takes these huge GE existential questions and makes them, I don't know, exciting.
Totally. It's philosophy disguised as a blockbuster action movie with a killer soundtrack.
Right. And, we might not agree with every single thing Wojcicki says in her analysis.
Of course not.
But you can't deny the Matrix makes you think.
It really does.
It makes you question everything you think you know. About reality, belief, even your own identity.
And that's what makes it stick with you, right?
Exactly. It's not just about what's happening inside the Matrix. It's about us, the viewers, on the outside looking in. Remember that question Wojcicki asks?
The one where she flips the script?
Oh, yeah. The one where she's like, what if we're the ones being offered the choice? Red pill or blue pill?
Because on some level, aren't we always choosing what to believe?
Every single day. We choose what stories we buy into, what ideas we let ourselves be exposed to, what version of reality we're going to accept.
And those choices, they really matter.
It's like our taste in movies, the books we read, even just like the news we consume.
It's not just entertainment, is it?
Right. It reflects what we believe deep down, how we see the world. So the next time you find yourself drawn to a particular story, ask yourself, what is it about this that resonates with me? What does it say about the beliefs I'm choosing to embrace?
Whoa! Okay. Yeah, I think I need to go lie down after that one.
Me too. That's a wrap on our deep dive into The Matrix and the Power of Belief. We went from killer robots to some seriously mind-bending philosophy.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. Until next time, everyone, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, there's always another rabbit hole out there waiting to be explored.